Hello, and welcome back to Easy Speak, the podcast where we slow things down, keep things real, and help you feel more comfortable speaking English every single day.
I'm Steven, and as always, I'm here with the wonderful Annie. How are you today, Annie?
I'm great, Steven. A little sleepy, but great. I had too much coffee, and somehow I'm still tired. I don't think that's how coffee is supposed to work.
Ha! Yeah, that's not how it works. Okay, so today's topic, and this one is really exciting. We're talking about how to train your mouth to speak English.
Yes, and here's a question for you. Have you ever known something in your head, you understand it perfectly, but when you try to say it out loud, nothing comes out, or it sounds completely wrong?
Oh, every English learner knows that feeling. Your brain says yes, but your mouth says no.
Exactly. So today, we're going to explore why that happens, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it.
This episode is perfect for B1 and B2 English learners. We'll speak slowly and clearly, and we'll explain any tricky words as we go. So relax, grab a drink, and just listen.
And before we start, if you're enjoying this podcast, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave us a comment below. We read every single one. Today's question for you is, when do you feel most nervous speaking English? Write it in the comments. We'd love to know.
So Annie, let's be honest. Most people think speaking a language is simple. You study the words, you learn the grammar, and then you just speak, right?
Right. And then reality arrives. And reality is not always kind.
Ha! That's very true. Because speaking a language is actually a physical skill. It's like playing the piano. You can read about music all day, but until your fingers actually touch the keys, you're not really playing.
I love that comparison. And with speaking, the instrument is your mouth, your tongue, your lips, your breath. And just like a musician, you need to practice, physically practice, before it feels natural.
And the funny thing is, a lot of people feel embarrassed about this. They think, I'm smart. Why can't I just speak?
Because intelligence is not the problem. Your brain isn't the obstacle. Your habits are, and habits can be changed. That's the good news.
Okay, so let's look at the first big reason speaking English is difficult, and it's this. Most learners are passive. Passive means you receive information. You read, you listen, you watch, but you don't produce. You don't create language yourself.
And passive learning is important. Don't misunderstand. Listening to podcasts like this one, that's incredibly valuable, but it's only half the journey.
Here's a personal example. When I was learning Spanish, I watched Spanish movies for months. My understanding improved a lot. But the first time I tried to have a real conversation with a real person, I froze completely. Nothing came out.
Because watching is not the same as doing. It's like watching someone swim, and then jumping in the pool and expecting to be perfect immediately.
Exactly. So the first step to training your mouth is to become active. Active means you speak, even if it's just to yourself, even if no one is listening.
Talk to yourself. It sounds a little strange, I know, but it works. Narrate your day in English. While you're making coffee, say, I am making coffee. It is very hot. I hope it wakes me up. Small things, simple things, but you're training your mouth.
Now there's a big challenge here. And it's emotional. It's the fear of making mistakes.
Oh, this is such a real thing. So many learners stay silent, not because they don't know the words, but because they're afraid of saying something wrong.
And that fear is understandable. Nobody wants to feel embarrassed. Nobody wants people to laugh at them. But here's the honest truth. Mistakes are not the enemy. Silence is the enemy.
Every mistake you make out loud is a lesson your brain remembers. When you make a mistake in your head, you might forget it tomorrow. But when you say something wrong and someone corrects you, or you notice it yourself, that sticks. It stays with you.
I remember once I said, in English, I am very full of embarrassment. I thought that was correct. Someone gently told me, it's, I am very embarrassed. I never forgot it after that.
See, the mistake became the teacher. So please, give yourself permission to be imperfect. Imperfect speaking is 1,000 times better than perfect silence.
Okay, so now let's talk about the practical side. How do you actually train your mouth? What are the real techniques?
The first technique is called shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to a native speaker and you repeat what they say at the same time, like an echo, like a shadow.
And you don't just copy the words. You copy the rhythm, the music, the speed. English has a very specific music to it. Some words are strong, some are soft, some are fast, some are slow.
For example, in the sentence, I really love that idea. The word love is strong and long. I really love that idea sounds different. The stress changes the meaning and the feeling.
So shadowing teaches your mouth the music of English, not just the words.
The second technique is recording yourself. I know, nobody likes the sound of their own voice, but listening back to yourself is one of the most powerful tools. You'll notice things you never notice when you're speaking.
And the third technique? Just have more conversations in real life, online, with language partners, with yourself. Every single conversation makes you a little better. Fluency. That means speaking smoothly and naturally. Fluency is built one conversation at a time.
But let's be honest again. Practicing speaking is not always fun. Sometimes it's very frustrating.
Yes, there are days when you feel like you're going backwards. You studied for months and suddenly you can't say the most simple sentence.
That feeling has a name. It's called a plateau, a flat period where progress feels invisible. Plateau means a flat surface where you stop going up. In language learning, it means a period where you feel stuck.
But here's the secret about plateaus. You're still improving underneath the surface. Your brain is organizing everything. And suddenly, one day, something clicks. And you feel the jump forward.
So, on those hard days, don't quit. Don't give up. Just do 5 minutes of practice. 5 minutes is enough. Consistency, doing something regularly over time, consistency beats intensity every time.
Annie, I want to end with something a little deeper, because I think speaking a language is about more than just communication. It's about identity.
Tell me more. I love this direction.
When you speak English, especially in a new accent, with new vocabulary, you might feel like you're becoming someone different, a little strange. Not fully yourself.
Yes, and that's actually very common. A lot of language learners feel a kind of in-between feeling. You're not your original self in this language, not yet, but you're building a new version of yourself, an English-speaking you.
And that takes courage, real courage, because you're stepping outside your comfort zone, that safe, familiar place. Every single time you open your mouth.
So every time you speak, even if it's broken, even if it's imperfect, you are brave. And I think that deserves a little celebration.
Maybe the real question isn't, how do I speak perfect English? Maybe the real question is, am I brave enough to speak imperfect English today? Because that bravery, that is the real teacher.
Okay, it's time for our favorite part. The vocabulary word tour. We'll go through the key words from today's episode. Listen, repeat, and remember.
Passive. Receiving information without actively producing or creating. Watching TV in English is a passive activity. Passive learning is useful, but speaking needs to be active. Repeat. Passive. Shadowing. Repeating what a speaker says at the same time. Copying their rhythm and sound. I practice shadowing with podcast episodes every morning. Shadowing helps you learn the natural music of English. Repeat. Shadowing. Fluency. The ability to speak smoothly, naturally, and without too many pauses. Fluency comes from daily practice, not from studying grammar alone. She spoke with great fluency after 2 years of conversation practice. Repeat. Fluency. Plateau. A period in learning when progress feels slow or invisible. After months of studying, I hit a plateau and felt stuck. Every language learner experiences a plateau. It is completely normal. Repeat. Plateau. Consistency. Doing something regularly over time, without stopping. Consistency is more important than studying for 5 hours once a week. Even 10 minutes a day with consistency creates amazing results. Repeat. Consistency. Comfort zone. The familiar, safe area where things feel easy and not scary. Speaking in public pushed me out of my comfort zone. Growth always starts just outside the comfort zone. Repeat. Comfort zone. Narrate. To describe what is happening, like telling a story, try to narrate your daily routine in English. It's great practice. She narrated her morning walk as if she were in a documentary. Repeat. Narrate. Obstacle. Something that blocks your path or makes progress difficult. Fear of making mistakes is the biggest obstacle for English speakers. He worked hard to overcome every obstacle in his journey. Repeat. Obstacle. Identity. Who you are. Your character, your personality, your sense of self. Speaking a new language can feel like building a new identity. Language is closely connected to our cultural identity. Repeat. Identity.
Wonderful. 9 powerful words from today's episode. Try to use at least one of them in a sentence this week. Write it in the comments. We love seeing your sentences.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Remember, your mouth is a muscle. Train it a little every single day. And one day, English will just flow. It will feel natural. It will feel like you.
Until next time, keep speaking, keep trying, and keep being brave. We'll see you in the next episode of Easy Speak. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. You've got this.